Hi, welcome to the Q-Nose. I am Phyllis Quatman. Today we're going to talk about a tragic incident that occurred in Sidney, Montana a couple of weeks ago. A 43-year-old teacher was jogging in the morning and disappeared. The only clue that the FBI has is her running shoe. 2 men have been arrested in South Dakota and held on aggravated kidnapping charges, not murder. However, the media reports that she's presumed dead. The FBI is in charge of the case, so we don't have a lot of facts. They're wisely withholding those facts, which is a smart thing to do. And the 2 gentlemen are fighting extradition to Montana, where we have the death penalty for aggravated kidnapping. But what strikes me about the case as a former prosecutor and now defense attorney is this. They are asking the public to help find her body. And they're asking farmers on that side of the state to look at tree stands to see for disrupted soil. And the problem that I see legally in this case is when no body has been recovered, pressing charges is very difficult. In fact, you'd think it would be impossible, and it is very tough. So in this instance, they've charged aggravated kidnapping, but what we have is a situation where we have a missing person, really, a tennis shoe and a missing woman. And unless they have more evidence or more facts that are compelling, that's not going to be enough to convince a jury to convict these guys of her kidnapping, let alone her murder. So it's a case that we're going to be watching closely to see what facts unfold. For example, why these 2 guys? Why are they the suspects? What makes them think that she's buried along a tree line? Did one or the other of them make a statement, or did a third party overhear them? Is it aggravated kidnapping, or is it something more, something even worse, or aggravated kidnapping and murder, or is it something less? Could it be something like these 2 guys were driving their van along the road, it was dark, it was slippery, and they accidentally ran this woman down, knocked her, impact and knocked her into a field, for example, knocking her out of her shoe, and then panicked. When they ran over to see if she was all right, realized that she was dead or dying, put her in the van. Maybe they were going to take her to the hospital, or maybe because they have criminal records, which according to the media they do, they took her out and buried her because they just didn't want to deal with it. That makes it a different crime. That's not murder. I was watching a movie a couple of nights ago called All Good Things, with Ryan Gosling and Kirsten Dunst. Good movie, interesting movie. And again, it's based on a true story where a very wealthy young man became violent with his wife. He seems a little crazy in the movie and gets crazier in the movie. And his wife disappears in 1982. This is a true story. And 30 years later, she still hasn't been found, nor has anyone ever been charged in her murder, if she was murdered. And so that's the problem with these cases, is that when you don't have the body, it's very tough to prove that a crime occurred. And even if the accused person admits something, that he kidnapped the person or killed the person, that confession isn't admissible in a court until the prosecution proves that a crime occurred. It's kind of a chicken and egg thing, but it's a legal protection because confessions are oftentimes unreliable. Let's just put it that way. And so even if these guys in Sydney confessed, the prosecutor still has to prove that a crime occurred. And as I said, what they've got right now is just a missing person. So it's going to be an interesting case to follow. I handled one of these cases when I was a prosecutor in California. I sat second chair in a death penalty case there in which we had no body. We never did have a body. However, we did have some forensic evidence found in the kidnap van. And we also had we had 3 suspects, and one of them turned on the other 2 and told what happened after we gave him immunity. So that's always a possibility too. So since it's a case that is pending, my heart goes out to this family. I can't imagine anything worse than not knowing and just having such a vibrant young woman disappear like that. We'll keep watching to see how these facts unfold and to see what goes on in this case. That's today. Check us out at Facebook and like us at Facebook. Thanks.